Good morning, students. I am Prakash Tripathi, and today I am going to teach you the third poem of your book Flamingo, Keeping Quiet. The poet of this poem is Pablo Neruda. He started writing at the age of 13 years, and he was a diplomat, poet, and a politician also. I would also like to tell you that he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. This is a very beautiful poem, a very short poem, and the theme of the poem is that poet wants to tell you about the self-introspection. Now, what is introspection? Introspection means self-examination. Nowadays, we are in a great rush. Everybody is running here and there. Nobody has time to think about himself. Nobody tries to introspect himself. Nobody tries to self-examine. And the poet thinks that by keeping quiet for a few minutes or for some moments, we can do self-realization. So that by doing this, we can create a feeling of mutual understanding among the human beings. So I will go line by line explanation of the poem, and I will also tell you the theme and the message as well as the poetic devices I have written on the board. There are many poetic devices used in this poem. When they come, I will explain you. So let's start. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. The poet says that we will count till 12. The number 12 signifies the 12 signs on the clock, or it may also refer to the 12 months of the year. And we will all keep still. Still means motionless. We will not do anything. We shall keep silent. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. So all the people on this surface, on this earth, speak different kinds of languages. And if we don't speak any language, there will be only one language, and that language will be the language of silence. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. We should not move our arms so much. Every action is done in this world by moving our arms. Moving arms also may refer to the brisk walking, but here I would like to tell you that the poetic device used here is arms, and there is a pun on this. Pun. 2-3 years ago, the question was asked in the CBSE board exam. What is the pun in this line? See, we shall not move our arms so much. And that year, I went to check the copies of 12th board exam, and I checked, I think, more than 200 copies, and only one child was able to answer this question. See, the pun is here. Arms means our hands, and the other meaning of arms is weapon also. So the poetic device is pun. The poet is saying not to use our arms, means stop doing actions, and also suggest not to use the weapons. So this is the pun here. It would be an exotic moment. The poet says that this would be a very exotic, means very unusual and very exciting moments for all of us. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Now, sudden strangeness means unusual moments. Now, during the period of lockdown, there is the same thing. A sudden strangeness is there. Everything has been stopped. We are in a situation of a lockdown, and nothing is in motion. So there will be an exotic moment, and we would all be together. The feeling of unity, feeling of togetherness will be there when everybody would keep silent. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. Fishermen, those who are always involved in killing whales, they would also stop for a moment. So if they stop fishing, some lives of the whales would be saved. And the men gathering salts would look at his hurt hands. Those people who are involved in the work of gathering salts, by doing this continuous work, they hurt their hands. so they will get time to look at their hearts, and they will realize that we are doing a lot of harm to our own body. Those who prepare green wars. Now, why the word green wars is there? Because during the war, our greenery is destroyed. Our environment is destroyed completely. Wars with gas, wars with fire. Wars with gas, wars with fire. Here the word war with is repeated, so the figure of speech is repetition. Victory with no survivor. See what happens in the end of the war. Thousands and lakhs of people die, and in the end nobody survives. Would put on clean clothes. They would put clean clothes. If they stop fighting with each other, they will put clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. They will walk around in the shade, put clean clothes. Clean clothes is a symbolic. It symbolizes peace. In the shade, doing nothing. And if they stop fighting, they would do nothing. They would be compelled to think that why are we fighting? They will think about the futility, about the uselessness of the war. What I want should not be confused. Now the poet wants to remind us that he is saying don't do this, don't do that, stop doing any action. So you should not be confused with total inactivity. The poet is not advocating for total inactivity. He is not saying to stop action totally. Why? Life is what it is about. Because life is a continuous process. It should go on. And I want no truck with death. This sentence is a very unique sentence. I want no truck with death. This is an idiomatic sentence. The meaning of this sentence is that whatever the poet is trying to say should not be associated with death. Okay. If we were not so single-minded. See, we are single-minded. Single-minded means focusing on one thing only. About keeping our lives moving. Everybody wants that I should live for some more years. A person who is 60 years thinks that I should live for 70. Those who cross 70, he thinks I should make a century. So we are single-minded. And for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. And when we think about our death, when we start thinking about life that we are going to die, we become sad. And the poet is saying, perhaps the huge silence might interrupt us and we should think about our life. Of never understanding ourselves. See, we never understand ourselves. We are running and running, and every time, in the beginning only I told you that we don't have time for introspection. So this huge silence will compel us, will force us to think about ourselves. And of threatening ourselves with death. We will start thinking that death is inevitable. Nobody can escape death. So it's a natural process. Our fear regarding death will be lessened. Now, perhaps the earth can teach us. The earth can teach us. Now, who teaches you? Your teacher teaches you. But here the poet is saying the earth can teach you. Now, when the earth is teaching, when the non-living thing is teaching, the poetic device is personification. The earth can teach us is personification. Earth is being treated as a human being. As when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. See, when everything appears to you that it is dead, later on, later means afterward, you come to know that no, it was not dead. Now you can understand from one example. During winter, everything is frozen, no? But after the winter is over, the seeds come out, and again there is greenery, again there is plantation, everything again regenerates. So, earth, we can learn from the earth. It may appear when the farmer sowed the seeds in the field, you may look at the field and say nothing is going on, everything is dead. But no, that germination process is going on beneath the soil, and later on you see that crops comes out of that seeds. So again the poet repeats the beginning line, now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. again he is saying he is going to count till 12 and I will go. So the message of the theme of the poem is that we should self-realize us, we should do some introspection, and we should think about our life, and then only some change can come in our life. So this is the poem, Keeping Quiet. That's all. Thank you very much.